Hello, Level Casters. Welcome to your daily news update. Today, May 18th, 2026, we have important stories from around the world to help you practice your English. Let's get started. News 1 of 19. First, we go to the Middle East. The United Arab Emirates, also known as the UAE, has accused Iran or its allies of an attack near a nuclear power plant. This comes as the ceasefire, which is an agreement to stop fighting, in the war with Iran is becoming less stable. Meanwhile, the US president said that plans for a military strike against Iran have been put on hold. This pause happened because Tehran, the capital of Iran, made a new proposal to end the conflict, and serious talks are now happening. The US president expressed impatience with the current situation, which is a stalemate, meaning neither side can win or lose. News 2 of 19. Next, in entertainment news, the French star Patrick Bruel is facing serious accusations. This singer and actor, who has been in over 40 movies, is denying several allegations of sexual assault. These claims are now being investigated in both France and Belgium. It's a difficult situation for a well-known public figure. News 3 of 19. In Colombia, the way war is fought is changing. Drones, which are flying machines controlled remotely, are now being used, and this is causing more deaths and injuries. Civilians, who are ordinary people not involved in the fighting, are increasingly in danger. This new use of drones is opening a new, dangerous part of the country's conflict, which has been going on for many decades. News 4 of 19. Now, let's talk about economics in Britain. Today's question is the bond market making Britain impossible to govern? The bond market is where governments borrow money. The situation of former Prime Minister Liz Truss showed that leaders who want to make big economic changes might face problems. The question is whether the need to satisfy the market means that real change can never happen. News 5 of 19. Moving to the Ukraine war, we have news about drones that attacked the Moscow region. Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, says that an electronics factory that makes weapon parts and an oil pumping station were among the targets. Ukrainian President Zelensky claims that Ukraine is doing better than Russia on the battlefield. This is happening on day 1545 of the conflict. News 6 of 19. Former German Chancellor Angela Merkel has stated that Europe is not using its diplomatic potential enough when dealing with Russia. Diplomatic potential means the ability to solve problems through talking and negotiation. She added that using diplomacy, along with military deterrence, meaning discouraging an attack by having strong defenses, is very important when managing relations with Russia. News 7 of 19. There is now more pressure on Mexico after two former officials surrendered to the United States. They are accused of having connections to cartels, which are criminal organizations. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has denied any links between her political party, Morena, and organized crime. This situation is putting the Mexican government under scrutiny. News 8 of 19. Japan is currently worried about a shortage of naphtha. Naphtha is a chemical made from crude oil that few people had heard of until recently. This fear comes after the Strait of Hormuz was blocked. There's also talk about Iran possibly charging money for the use of internet cables under the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian media mentioned this plan, which would involve demanding money from US tech companies, but it seems legally questionable and relies on intimidation. News 9 of 19. A new special police unit is targeting dodgy shops, which means shops that are not honest, that handle criminal money. Officials believe that about £1 billion every year is laundered, or illegally cleaned, through places like vape stores, barbershops, mini-marts, and sweet shops. This unit aims to stop this illegal activity. News 10 of 19. In the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, there is panic over the return of Ebola. Residents in Ituri province are very worried about the disease spreading again. They also fear the economic impact that this new outbreak will have, especially since it's only 6 years after the last one. It's a heartbreaking situation for the local people. News 11 of 19. In Spain, the Conservative People's Party won the regional election in Andalusia but lost its absolute majority. This means they don't have enough votes to make decisions alone. Now, they are forced to rely on the far-right Vox party to form a government. This situation could lead to months of negotiations to create a stable government. News 12 of 19. Former European Union Brexit officials have stated that there will be no tailor-made deal for the UK if it wants to rejoin the bloc. They said that Britain would likely receive a warm, welcoming stance if it tries to re-enter. However, they also said it would be a hard-headed one, meaning no special deals would be offered to the UK. News 13 of 19. Mexico City is facing a purple pain and a backlash, which is a strong negative reaction over its axolotlization for the World Cup. The mayor's plan to make the city more beautiful with murals of the axolotl mascot and plum-colored paint jobs is being criticized. Many people see it as a waste of resources. News 14 of 19. In weather news, Europe is preparing for big changes. The continent is expected to swing from an Arctic chill, which is very cold weather, to extreme heat. Temperatures in France and England could rise by 15 degrees Celsius. At the same time, parts of the United States might see hot air turn into snow. News 15 of 19. Chinese President Xi Jinping is getting ready to welcome Russian President Putin to China. This visit will happen just 4 days after Xi hosted former U.S. President Trump. Chinese state media say that Beijing is becoming a focal point of global diplomacy, meaning it's a very important place for international discussions and negotiations. News 16 of 19. Western countries are facing a new danger from disposable operatives for hire. These are agents who can be recruited for specific tasks and then easily discarded. A court case in New York has shown how Iran is using technology to find and recruit these agents, who might not even support the Iranian government. News 17 of 19. Greenland's health minister has spoken out against a visit from a U.S. doctor. She said that Greenlanders are not experimental subjects, meaning they should not be treated like objects for experiments. The minister in Nuuk, the capital, called the doctor's presence in the U.S. delegation deeply problematic. News 18 of 19. Pope Leo is going to release a new text about human dignity and artificial intelligence, or AI. He is working with a co-founder of Anthropic, an AI company. The Vatican announced that the Pope's encyclical, which is an important letter from the Pope, will talk about the protection of the human person in the age of AI. News 19 of 19. Finally, in Barcelona, one man is on a mission to take the city back from overtourism. Overtourism means having too many tourists. José Antonio Donner is not against tourists, but he wants the city to be for its residents again. He is starting with the city's most famous market. He calls this situation the end of the road for how tourism is currently managed. That's all for today on Levelcast News. Keep practicing your English, and we'll see you next time.